Good afternoon, everyone. So today we are going to watch and learn about the Rich People Problems by Kevin Kwan. I have also mentioned from our last video that you're going to make your final performance task, which talks about the Rich People Problems by Kevin Kwan. So as long as you'll be able to present your multimedia skills and your ICT skills through your creative literary adaptations, then that's good enough. It doesn't matter that you're going to present that through a digital picture story, a video anecdote, or a role play, or a one-act play, as long as you'll be able to provide and show me your multimedia skills and your ICT skills. So class, I will be letting you watch a video about the rich people problems by a certain group of students who have used a digital picture story as a way of presenting their adaptation and understanding of the text. And after letting you watch this, I'm also suggesting for you to also read the text in the module if you still have time, so that you will understand more the lines that the characters have provided in the text. Okay, so without further ado, let's now start to watch this video.
Rich People Problems, an excerpt by Kevin Kwan. Bettina Ortiz Emmanuel was not accustomed to waiting. A former Miss Venezuela and Miss Universe runner-up, of course, the exceedingly bronze Strawberry Blonde, was these days the wife of Miami Auto Parts tycoon Herman Ortiz Emmanuel, and at every restaurant she chose to grace with her presence, she was always greeted with reverence and whisked to the exact table she desired. Today, she wanted the corner table on the terrace at Sip Sip, her favorite lunch spot on the harbor island. She wanted to sit on one of the comfy orange canvas director's chairs and stare out at the gently lapping turquoise waters while eating her kale Caesar salad. But there was a large noisy group taking up the entire terrace, and they didn't seem in much hurry to leave. Bettina fumed as she glared at the tourists, happily savoring their lunch in the sun. Look how tacky they were. The women overly tanned, wrinkled and saggy, none of them properly lifted or botoxed. She felt like walking up to their table and handing out her dermatologist's business cards. And the men were even worse, all dressed in rumpled shirts and shorts, wearing those cheap straw hats sold at a trinket shop on Dunmore Street. Why did such people have to come here? The 3.5-mile-long paradise, with its pristine pink sand beaches, was one of the best-kept secrets in the Caribbean, a haven for the very rich, filled with quaint little wood houses painted in shades of sherbet, charming boutiques, chic oceanfront mansions turned into inns, and 5-star restaurants to rival St. Bart's. Tourists should have to take a style exam before being allowed to set foot on the island. Feeling that she had been patient long enough, Bettina stormed into the kitchen, the fringe on her crocheted Gucci kaftan top shaking furiously as she made a beeline for the woman with a shock of pixie-cut blonde hair manning the main stove. "Julie, honey, what's the dealio? I've waited for more than 15 minutes for my table." Bettina sighed to the owner of the restaurant. "Sorry, Bettina, it's been one of those days. The party of 12 on the terrace showed up first just before you did," Julie replied as she handed off a bowl of spicy conch chili to the waiting server. "But the terrace is your prime spot. Why on earth did you let those tourists take up all that space?" "Well, that tourist in the red fishing cap is the Duke of Glencora. His party just boated over from Windermere. That's his Royal Heisman you see moored off the coast. Isn't it the most handsome sailboat you've ever seen?" "I'm not impressed by big boats," Bettina huffed, although secretly she was rather impressed by people with big titles. From the kitchen window, she surveyed the party assembled on the terrace with new eyes. These Aristo-British types were such a strange breed. Sure, they had their Savile Row suits and their heirloom tiaras, but when they traveled, they looked so painfully frumpy. It was only then that Bettina noticed 3 tan, well-built men in fitted white t-shirts and black Kevlar pants sitting at the adjacent table. The guys weren't eating, but sat watchfully, sipping glasses of seltzer water. "I assume that's the Duke's security detail? They couldn't be more obvious. Don't they know we're all billionaires here in Berlin, and this isn't how we roll?" Bettina tutted. Actually, those bodyguards belong to the Duke's special guest. They did a whole sweep of the restaurant before the party arrived. They even searched my walk-in freezer. See that Chinese fellow seated at the end of the table? Bettina squinted through her Dior Extase sunglasses at the portly, balding, 70-something Asian man, dressed in a nondescript, white, short-sleeved golf shirt and gray trousers. Oh, I didn't even notice him. Am I supposed to know who he is? That's Alfred Shan, Julie said in a hushed tone. Bettina giggled. He looks like their chauffeur. Doesn't he look like that guy that used to drive Jane Wyman around in Falcon Crest? Julie, who was trying to focus on searing a cut of tuna to perfection, shook her head with a tight-lipped smile. From what I hear, that chauffeur is the most powerful man in Asia. What's his name again?
The end. Thank you for listening and watching.
Thank you so much for watching the video. And also to the viewers today, kindly read, if you still have time, the text about the Rich People Problems by Kevin Kwan for you to have a recap of what you have just watched as an excerpt from the story Rich People Problems by Kevin Kwan. So after that, you are recommended to do an activity, so please write this in your notebook. This activity is entitled Character Snapshot. So what you're going to do is to analyze a certain character from the story, Rich People Problems, and identify the key traits, motivations in a concise format. So this would be the format. You're going to write the character